whenever you are.
All right,
All
we
right.
are back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another series. It turns out that actually Team EVOS did manage to 2-0 Lotac. What a big surprise coming out there.
That Medusa, though, right? Like,
We didn't get a chance to cover ourselves, but let's just put it like this. You might get some spooky Medusering happening. Because, of course, Team EVOS, they bid late and it worked out. But we are currently in the beginning of the draft. We've got a few picks coming out, so we can hop right in that, of course. You can already see our names. You know who we are. We're here to guide you through the action, through all the SEA action, actually. We're going to be here tomorrow as well.
everything. We're going to guide you through everything, guys.
Best of 5, by the way.
Best of
the
5.
finals. This
Tomorrow.
is best of 3,
Yeah,
but best of
tomorrow.
5 tomorrow. How often do you see that in a qualifier? That's something.
That's
But
amazing.
do you know what else is something?
The draft?
Arc
the
Warden.
draft something?
Arc Warden is something. Have you heard of this hero?
Arc Warden? Yeah, a couple of times I've heard of him.
Being
Not at all one of my most favorite heroes or a hero that I'm kind of popular with. Dude.
You are?
You are? What?
What? I thought
alright.
you were a Meepo player. What happened?
So, when Arc Warden came out, I started spamming him a lot. And, yeah, people would come to my chat just to watch Arc Warden. Overall, right now, I'm very excited about this hero because I don't like him. That's it. I don't like him. I don't like Arc Warden.
Ouch.
Like right now, I feel the hero is decent. He can be played, but 90% of the time that I watch Arc Warden, he gets carried. He doesn't carry. Even though this hero is one of the strongest late game heroes, right? Because you have basically 2 units that are hitting with the same amount of damage with the same heroes, like with the same items. So, it's gonna be interesting though. It's definitely gonna be interesting. I like the hero because of that, because it's interesting. But at the same time, I have a feeling that the meta isn't really favorable for him. They've banned out the Brood, which is one of the best counters for him on mid, if he's played on mid. They banned out the Storm, who can jump on him. And then they banned out the Duza, which is arguably just as strong as him in the late game, and which has been played by Team EVOS in the last game. So
I think it would be fair to say the biggest issue that we run into with the Arc Warden is the way it's drafted. It's drafted very early, it's very central to the draft, and it's not that hard to counter. Like, you basically just rush your opponents fast. Like you said, there are heroes you can immediately take, and they're forced to make it obvious, because when they pick it this early, you look at all the bans, like you said, it's clearly focused around this Arc Warden, making sure he has the best game possible.
Yep.
And while it's not a bad idea to have an idea of what your draft's about, revealing it this early and having one that is very flip coin in its performance is not a good idea.
definitely. Like, Arc Warden is one of those heroes that are either gonna win or lose you the game. And when you draft him this early on, like, you open up possibilities for Team EVOS to just counter him in any way they wish to. Right now, they decided to go for Willow. Willow is a support which is, let's see, Troll. All right, interesting. Actually, not really the hero I would pick versus Arc. I think there are many better options. But it's definitely an interesting pickup.
I think that what we're going to likely see here is TNC will most likely want to match up Arc against the Troll, because Troll's issue is that he can dodge out some, with evasion, he can dodge out right-click damage. But of course, those Spark Wraiths do a lot of damage. And when you've got a hero like Earthshaker, you have the means to hit them.
That's true. Like, they can set up their lanes in which Arc is versus Troll. The problem there is, like, Troll shouldn't have any issues last hitting, but at the same time, Troll can fall to any sort of a rotation from Earthshaker, Fissure blocking him, or whatever. I'm just interested to see if this Arc is gonna be on a side lane or on mid, because you can put him on either of these lanes. The benefit that you get from a mid Arc Warden is that you get level 10 faster, and because of that you get the cooldown reduction faster. It's not great, the greatest cooldown reduction talent, it's 8%, but it's really good still because of the fact that you have twice as many items as anyone else in the game, because you have 2 heroes to work with, basically. So you have the clone with the Midas or Necro, whatever they opt to go for, and then you have your main hero with the same. So, yeah. But on the safe lane, it's obviously a bit easier to farm. But in the current meta, honestly, I would like to, if I was Arc, I would like to dodge out that Treant, definitely.
Well, it looks like they're planning to run it on the, like, I'm assuming the outer lanes here, or at least that's what EVOS believes. They did ban the
EVOS
Tinker.
thinks. Yeah, the Tinker ban is basically them thinking that Pagna and Arc are basically the side laners, Pagna being position 3 with Earthshaker, while Arc would be on the safe lane with Winter Wyvern. And that's very normal way of drafting, to be honest. Like Shaker and Pugna, it's been picked in Dota 1, man. It's a Warcraft 3 dual lane. That's honestly one of the oldest dual lanes when it comes to offlane or safe lane. So it's strong. And Arc plus 1 Winter, I don't think they're that good versus 3 and Necro. If that's that dual lane, 3 and Necro. That's where I'm not certain, because Dark Willow and Necro can also lane. But I like the 3 and Necro lane. It's not the best, but Arc does. Oh, Kunkka.
Okay. This should actually be...
This should be the mid, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Should be an RML special.
It's nice. Kunkka definitely provides them with some frontliner that can just stand in front and create space for Arc Warden and Pugna to do all the damage dealing that's necessary.
Well, I mean, he can also block pretty much anyone on the side team EVOS, right? The X control means the Necrophos is never safe. Same with the Dark Willow. And of course, even if you're trying to run for the tree line, if you get hit with the X beforehand, you're going to be dragged away, revealed. It's
a nice hero versus Dark Willow as well. A hero that can't be blown up by the Willow, which is really nice.
I like this. It rounds out TNC very nicely, because alongside that, of course, you've got a lot of push power on the Arc and the Pugna. Obviously, Kunkka doesn't give you much in that regard, but what he'll give you is when you get to the high ground, he has the means to set up a mean combo, not to mention the fact that you have the reset of the bow.
I really like their draft. It's very well rounded. Like TNC has drafted really well here. Especially the bans. They all make so much sense. Like the Nyx ban, Undying ban, preventing any sort of aggression, like Nyx versus the Pugna. You pick Pugna later on because Nyx is banned, which is really good. You can go for that Arc because some heroes like Brood and Undying are banned. The only thing is, like, you ban the Brood, but you pick the Kunkka, but then it's... If they didn't ban it in the first phase, maybe they pick it first phase and ban out the Kunkka in the second phase of banning stage. So it all makes a lot of sense.
And it's also the case of, like, by leaving the Pugna this late, EVOS don't bother with it in the second ban phase. Like, okay, this hero's not going to come out. There's no way in hell, right?
Yeah.
So you just kind of forget about it, amazingly enough, because you've got so many picks between the two.
Yeah, and the Pugna, as you said, a little bit forgotten, but not by TNC. Picked up instantly, and it should do very well versus Necro. Dark Willow, however, and let's like talk about the strengths of Team EVOS. Like, they have their own tiny hero that can lane versus Kunkka. I think that's the reason. Also with Troll Warlord's aura, he can hit quite hard and fast, so that's nice. Overall, I like TNC's draft a bit more, but EVOS, they definitely have ways of winning this game as well. The Tiny can match versus Armel's Kunkka fairly well. Not the best lane, but it's basically a skill matchup. We talked about this. It's going to be held by Troll as well.
I think the biggest thing to actually kind of highlight here with EVOS' draft is it is very heavily on the Troll. That Tiny pick makes sense, but it's not a bolster your own draft pick. It's more defensive on the response to what TNC done.
Troll is good versus Arc if he can have either a Blink or a Shadow Blade, something that can get on top of him, something with which he'll be able to get on top of Arc Warden. The problem is you have the Shaker to block you off, you have Winter Wyvern with the heal, and you have Pugna with the Crepify that's going to stop you from hitting him. And then you have Boat and Axes, so there's a lot of control that's gonna make this Arc Warden a little bit tankier. Like, it's gonna help him survive. So because of that, I actually like this as an Arc Warden game. It's looking all right. They haven't really picked any major counters to him. So
that was our biggest worry. Like, and that's why, yeah, I'm in the same bandwagon. I'm like, okay, TNC's draft definitely looks a bit stronger. But we have got a game. They're finally ready to get underway here.
You ready? Let's go.
Yep. Game 1 of TNC Predator versus EVOS. Well, both these teams, formidable 2-0s against their respective opponents.
Yeah. TNC did have 1 second toilet. Bring us back. All
right, let's go back. Like, you know, we were like, okay, let's get across into the game immediately. You know what the best excuse I've actually heard is so far? Has to go to NA. Is we had a pause followed by the comment that simply said fruit flies.
Fruit flies?
Fruit flies followed another sense on bananas, and that was it.
I mean, you have to get rid of the fruit flies, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't let them go and eat your bananas, man.
Definitely don't want anyone to just be touching your banana. But actually, look at this. What's this flame going on back and forth?
There's some flame going on in the game, but we're not gonna show it to you guys. Instead,
Yeah,
you're gonna
keep it to us.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch us. So I've been working out on my biceps, but it's covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, no, the black doesn't show off the
black,
muscle tone.
Yeah,
as
the
much.
black is always, but I had to do it. They told me that it's a bit too much. If I wore white, they told me it's a bit too much. So
I think they were lying to you. I think it was more to do with the fact that your white shirt was a little bit too tight.
a little bit too tight.
Luckily for you, we aren't on Twitch, so there's no nips rules.
Let's
But
go.
game
I
is
think we have a
underway.
game.
We are ready to begin here.
All right.
After a quick undoing and updoing of the zipper, they're back in. They're ready to go.
Put that hand up. All right. So we have the.
Whoa.
We have the Dark Willow, the Tree, the Troll, and the Necro all going down one lane.
This is interesting. We don't actually see this too often anymore. Is the rotation for the first
aggression,
blood?
right? Yeah. And the Treant instantly went for the invis.
I love the instant no after the way.
No, please, no, just go. By the way, I'm not the biggest fan of Treants picking their skill before the laning stage starts.
Yeah.
The reasoning behind that for me is because your trees might get destroyed. They have ways, like on the side of TNC, the way that they can destroy the trees is with Arctic Burn plus Tangos. It's not the greatest thing because Arctic Burn has 50 seconds of a cooldown level 1. So if you want to use it, you have to use it straight away, as soon as you're on the lane. And then it's harder for you to contest the rune. But Arc Warden isn't the best for contesting level 1 runes, so maybe they can do that. However, this lane is not easy for Arc. Necro plus Treant, if they set up this lane as Necro plus Treant, they should have an easy lane versus them. So
It's kind of that issue is that you are forced to take the Nature's guys at level 1 just that you'll be able to move in without being seen for the warding.
But yeah. I mean, when you start with Stout Shield like this, honestly, you can go Leech Seed level 1. I think that's just as good. Because with Leech Seed, what you do is you just stand in front and you contest Arc Warden's last hits. And I think that's so good versus that hero. You just contest his last hits. With Treant, you have 90 damage versus his, 58? Like, you can take every single last hit there.
I mean, that's the prioritization for a lot of POS 4s at the moment, is you take things like the Ogre Magi, the Nyx, the Treant.
And you just bully them, right? You stand in front,
yeah.
you mess with their last hits. You don't have to zone them out. You don't have to fight the hero that you're against, as long as you're denying him all the gold that he can get on that lane. That's good enough. And the experience, obviously, even more important.
And people kind of sometimes forget the value of this against range supports because they take a pummeling. They don't have the stout shields to protect them. They don't usually start with a lot of armor. Nice move by Ninja Boogie to identify that Whitemon did have a direct route through the jungle without revealing. I mean, when you don't see a Treant for that long, you have to, by that point, of assess, yes, he is coming.
Yeah, he probably has that invis, and it's good. Actually, they're gonna get 3 bounties.
Yeah, Gabby snuck in there. So TNC with 3 bounties. Like, there was no contesting on the top.
I mean, there was no contesting on the top, and that Treant, like, look at this. He's going for the... this is a courier snatch.
This is.
Yeah, but the courier is not being used. Like, they've identified that, and they're keeping it in the base next to the tier 4s. And because of that, like, this bug... I don't know. I don't know if this is good enough for them. Actually, Necro has rotated top.
I think the thing is as well, a Treant is one of those more predictable types to do this. So it's not like picking a Shaman and just sitting there and surprising everyone.
Or like a Phoenix in the last game of TNC. What they did, like, the Tigers tried it with the Phoenix.
There you go. He's going to go top in the end. So it will be the Necrophos and the Treant versus the Pugner and the Earthshake up here.
I actually expected Treant to be versus the Arc Warden.
I really did as well. I think I feel like this is the worst case scenario for them because you're going to get beaten the crap out by the combo on TNC.
Yeah, I don't think this is great for EVOS. I mean, Troll and Dark Willow, yeah, they can lane versus Arc Warden and Wyvern, but I honestly think Necro plus Treant are much better on this lane. So
I feel like they get screwed pretty hard by the Flux in this bot lane.
The Flux versus the Troll is really good as well.
Kunkka?
Yeah.
All right, Armel living life a little bit on the edge there. The toss back onto the tree. We almost gets him 40 HP, but tanky Kunkka stays alive.
Yeah, but that's so good for him right now. That's so good because the Tiny wasted all his mana on that. Has no mangoes to work with, has no tree grab. So basically, this lane should be much easier for RML from now on. You commit on getting that kill, you don't manage to do it, and then suddenly you can't do any aggressive moves anymore. So that's unfortunate for the Tiny.
Yeah, it's going to be problematic as well. I mean, he has starved a little bit of XP from RML, but it's not enough at this stage. I think the problem in this lane is what you're looking at is when you pick a Kunkka, you know the first 2 levels aren't going to be the best against someone like a Tiny. But once you start leveling up the Tidebringer, he doesn't actually struggle anymore. Like, Tiny gets beaten out of the lane pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. As the levels go by, yeah, Kunkka can fall to the combo, but he buys 2 bracers on this lane, I think. And with those 2 bracers, he's really not that threatened. You can't combo him down like some other heroes with Tiny. So, yeah, he should be able to have a decent lane here. And on top lane, you have the Pugna versus Necro lane. Pugna later on is really good versus Necro, but here, it's not really the best, right now at least, because there's a Treant as well. So he has to be a bit more careful.
You've already seen the conundrum that you run into, though. It's like the Treant cannot really approach the Pugna because he instantly gets decrepified. So the value you get out at that stage, Treant already moves slow. And he's not going to ever catch anyone when he's decrept.
The worst part is they wasted the sentry top on the... Oh,
we're talking about this with RML, actually. Needs to be careful. Stop the torrent, will be fine or south up. But this is the point. Like, you can toss him on a tower, and most mids will just fold to that alone. But he just walks it off.
He didn't, he didn't get the aggro off as well, so the tower hit him a few too many times, which was also kind of bad there. So overall, Tiny doing pretty well in this mid.
Better than we would have expected, especially that early mana burn. But here's where it starts to turn around. So RML can just go straight back to the fountain, regen up, and return.
Yeah, what a nice mechanic, man. Why not? Yeah, why not? X yourself, port out, easy.
But I've had debates on this, right? Now, hear me out.
Don't debate me. Don't debate me.
It's my problem.
Where's that button? I need it. I'll take it here for the next game.
All right, here's my problem with this whole X logic, and this is why you've heard me theory craft on these different builds. For example, ones involving things like Lotus Orb.
Yep.
So you have enough regen to sustain yourself, because the moment you TP, this stage is not bad, but once you get level 6, that starts to become a problem, because that tells your opponent they can go do something on the map, and you have no way of responding.
Yep, that's true. But the thing is, if he does go and do something on the map, you come back and you start pressuring his tower. So that's also problematic because of that same X, right? So it has many upsides. Very.
I'll don't get me wrong. I'm saying it's quite strong, but it's like it's at the same time as a Kunkka. You know, you're going to come back, you can be stuck in that lane, they can go elsewhere and do things. He's not the fastest tower pusher. He does push the wave.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Gabi on the bottom lane, they went on him, but he managed to port out to the tower, which is only like a few centimeters away from where they went on him. Still, though, a necessary TP. And honestly, this Arc Warden is having a good game. Like, he has the same amount of CS like the Troll. And this is definitely decent for them. I mean... I honestly think if Troll and Dark Willow were top, the lanes would have been better for them, but for EVOS, I mean.
I think when you look at this, it's coming down to right now, the difference is the Willow's fallen a little bit up behind in terms of XP. Tim's isn't there either, but he gets that power spike at 3, whereas Willow, now it's kind of like, yes, you get some benefits from levels, but you really want to get to 6 quickly for that solo potential.
Yeah, levels on Arc Warden are, I think, also a bit more important than on Troll. This laning stage at least. They rotated the Treant as well, so they identified the problem. They can't let that Arc Warden just farm and do whatever he wants to, so they are bringing in 3 as well. And once the lane is pushed a bit,
they know about him. Yeah. And they put down a ward as well, so that's free go. They're not going to get it just yet. They'll eat it finally. And once that happens, Whitemon's like, okay, no, they know, just back up now. We've got problems.
Yeah, that sentry was there right on time.
Oh, however, Gabi moving forward on him. They need a bash. They want to get through this Spark Wraith, though. Now the root's going to be put down. He's going to dodge them out and move away. And iLogic, he's going to get low here from the Flux. He should just about be fine, though.
Yeah, this is the problem that we already assessed at this lane. Like, Troll, he's not really the tankiest of heroes, right? Like, early on, he's not really that tanky. And Arc Warden, he dishes out a lot of magical damage. And now he's level 5, he has that level 3 Flux. He can catch that Troll very easily.
They're diving the tower here. Gabby taking on a decent amount of damage. iLogic needs to move away. The Flux is on him again. Now Whitemon diving on the tower. The leech seed giving him a bit of damage. The first blood gets drawn. Ninja Boogie gets it onto the troll. And Whitemon, he needs to get out of here now. He can't actually go for the kill on Gabby anymore.
This is a we didn't talk about this, but this is such a crazy combination. Like you have the Wyvern and you have the Arc Warden. So when the Arc Warden uses the Flux, your natural reaction is to hug anyone, and then you have the Wyvern. You're gonna hug someone. All right, I'm gonna use Splinter's Blast time and time again, and I'm gonna take you down. And that's how he gets that first blood on troll. So a nice combination. I wasn't really I didn't think about that, but it's.
I mean, they have backup plans as well, right? Because Wyvern, usually don't level Cold Embrace early, but when you think about the damage sources in this lane, right? A lot of it is physical based. Whether you have the Willow or the tree in there, it's all physical.
Yeah, the problem with getting that Cold Embrace early on is it wastes your mana, and it's not really good, especially on Arc. We talked about Troll not being tanky, Arc isn't the tankiest either. And when you use that Cold Embrace, you don't really heal him that way too much, you know. And because of that, it's better not to level that skill up. While the first two spells give you so much. Alright, Whitemon.
Yeah, Whitemon needs to be careful actually. The Spark Wraith gets put down, but will hit onto a creep. The flight is continuing. Ninja Boogie, he may have been a little bit too bold here. He'll get to the low ground, but guess what? Tiny's here as well. Facehugger coming in. And the Avalanche will be there, clubbing to his face. But that does leave Kunkka free in the mid lane now with a DD.
Top lane?
Going in? No, they can't get him.
Yeah.
They're a bit reluctant. Dark Willow's been lingering off map for a long time. They know something's up. But this is the crucial spike point for Tims in this lane. Is he's reached level 3. He can have the double stun now. So this is where Avil needs to be a lot more careful.
He has to be careful. He has that Dark Willow to follow up with the Bramble Maze if they go on him.
Oh, look at this. TP to the bot lane. Armel's coming in. They want to go on a target. Whitemon reveals as well. We're going to move across. iLogic being slow. The Flux is going to be there. The boat coming in. Torrent, and he's dead. No escape from that. And well, actually, Whitemon just has to TP out to safety.
Yeah, you honestly do not want to play a game versus an Arc Warden who's having a really good lane. 8 minutes in, he has Aquila, he has boots. He's moving slowly towards that. Midas as well. Has 500 gold. He can buy the gloves or the recipe soon. So overall, man, your troll wants to be in front. Your troll is the one that wants to pressure. Top lane. Tims.
Oh, don't get Cypher's not enough. Tim stays alive.
But Necro?
Going in. Yeah, he's down. Cuckoo just burned through him. Nothing to it. And now iLogic chasing across, but Cuckoo is a very fast little undead child. He can just move out here. Decrep, and he'll go for the TP. They have no way of interrupting that.
This is what we talked about. In the early laning stage, yeah, Necro can lane versus Pugna, but as soon as that Pugna is level 6, he uses the Crapify, he uses Life Drain, and you can't shroud yourself from that. You just die.
Remarkably done, actually, from Tims there. He put down the Fidget very early, but kept his composure. And it's still not just the fact you lose the Necrophos. You just use the Scythe, and that's a big cooldown.
You lose the Scythe. At the same time, Tiny rotated, Troll rotated. There are many things there that happened.
Speaking of Tiny, might be in a little bit of trouble. The moon across. They're just out of range in the X. There we go. They'll get it. The boat's coming in. Of course, the Torrent always comes afterwards. And he's smashed in the face. Never Blast down to half HP. They need a bit more. The toss away. Deeper. Uh-oh. iLogic going to get the bash. The Decrepify to protect. And now Cuckoo trying to move across. Needs to be careful. Never Blast just to get hit on the iLogic. There will be a Curse Crown coming. And now they do use the Battle Trance as well. Armel will be ran down. Can he get killed off? Yes, he can. The toss in the air. He comes down dead.
Troll's ultimate definitely helped there with the Tiny bumping on that Kunkka.
Bot lane though. Avil being slowed up here. The Flux is there. The Splinter Blast. He needs to retreat much faster than this. He might actually be... he might be protected by the cloak, actually. The Flux going out again. Avil, this time, you do not escape alive. He's got the Death Pulse. It'll buy a few seconds, but the final Spark Wraith not even needed.
Yeah, he's definitely falling there. And it's a great boost for this Arc Warden as he's moving towards that Midas even faster now. Only 500 gold remaining. And the thing is... if you start killing Arc Warden after he got that Midas, he doesn't really do much. Because as soon as he respawns, he creates his clone, he double Midas and stop. Troll
in trouble. Life Drain up. He's choosing the wrong choice here. He can't run away quick enough. iLogic, I mean, is bold. I think the only choice you had was to try for the bash. I'm surprised he didn't.
Try for a bash or run uphill, but not towards the Pugna. Do never run towards the guy that's...
Well, it's because he begun, and then the Decrepify came out, right? Like, he believed, and then he's like, oh, wait, this guy has a way of disarming me. That's problematic.
Yeah. That's definitely a problem. But that's a problem that we assessed in the draft as well, right? Like, you have this Troll who's a huge right-clicker, and then you picked it into a Pugna who has his Decrepify, which is always going to stop you from hitting. Top lane tower is about to fall. They aren't gonna contest that. They're actually smoked up bottom with Tiny and Willow. And this is a problem. Your Tiny isn't farming either. Like, you're smoking up with your position too, and...
Yeah, but Gabby already knows. There's no one shown on the map. They made this way too obvious, and as a result, I mean, they can actually see the only other person is iLogic, who's spotted by the observers they have deep anyway.
Yeah. Gabby is risking it a bit here, because he's only 40 gold away from Midas. He does not have to stand... Like,
yeah, but you got a Wyvern here as well. You can slow this down, and if they dive, they actually will pay a price. The Winner's Curse is available.
that's true. I would still abandon this right now, but...
Going in. Can they get any roots? No, they can't. They can actually find the winner Wyvern. The Avalanche is there. Ninjabuki staying alive for the moment, but finally go down. Gabby, Curse Crown on him. He may have made a mistake. He's got two versions of him, though. Can he fight up against Facehugger? Maybe. No one's coming to help. An Armel across. The boat's going to sink in. The X are drawing back, and they'll turn around and just melt through this Tiny. The toss away will not save him. In fact, Tim's... Oh, okay. He didn't actually get the final tap. It looked like it, but Gabby gets the kill.
That was just amazing for them, actually. Arc Warden standing there, and they ported on time. However, this Pagna... Like, he's blocked with his own ward here, which isn't really great on the bottom lane. But he's gonna chill. He's a happy tree friend. He's gonna chill a bit. Like, he ported at the right time. Sadly enough for him, he blocked himself in the trees with that ward. But
he's looking at life from Trent's perspective for a bit, okay?
But it was good. They can't approach him, you know. He's just sucking from distance. like life draining from distance, and it's fine.
He's got an extra long straw. That's what it is. Just gonna reach across, tap it in them.
That's it.
But, I mean, look at this so far. This is looking very good for TNC. They've got the top 3 net worth spots. And these type of heroes do fantastically in the mid game, right? With the Kunkka, the Pugna. And like we said, if there's anyone you don't want to be winning the laning phase, it's going to be the Arc
Warden. He's doing so well later on as well. Like, in the mid game, yeah, he's fine. But later on, once that Midas pays off, like, look at him. Midas and 800 gold right now. That Arc Warden is gonna skyrocket, actually, because this is the first time that he has used that Midas, right?
Yeah.
And we spoke about the level 10 and the experience talents. Well, he's level 9 and 3/4. He's gonna be 10 in 1 minute or something, and he's been on the safe lane, and that's not something that you usually get
from the top lane. Winner's Curse going to come out. They move across on iLogic. They do have the Echo Slam available. He's in trouble. Move in there. It comes out. The Enchant Turn Control. The One Axis will not protect him. And actually, Whitemon thinks twice about trying to do anything here as he just backs up.
Yeah, this Treant hasn't really had much of an impact so far in the game. I think the problem is the lane that he's been put on, like the top lane with the Necro early on. They just didn't manage to do enough, and now they're suffering. They're paying the price for that. He's rotated mid now, so they might try to go for this tower with the Tiny.
The problem is Kunkka's going to be there. He doesn't have boat for 40 seconds, actually. He did throw it out willy-nilly trying to catch on to someone.
Actually, Gabi he's scouted out, but they don't have the damage between the two of them. Like, the Willow might
Tiny's on the way.
Yeah, and the Willow does deal a lot of damage, actually.
This should be obvious to Gabi, though. Maybe a little bit too late. The Curse Crown's going to be there, and then the Tempest Double coming out. Whitemon forced to use the Overgrowth, and now they put down the Magnetic Field. He needs to get in. The Avalanche going to be there, but he's getting blocked out. Facehugger finally going to move across the toss in. Gabi getting low. Will he take it in 1 minute? He will. Whitemon dies first, and now they need to actually get out.
Midas.
No, Midas is going to get... No!
Why not Midas? He had the range.
Oh.
I guess maybe it was in the fog. But
wait, no, I think it was on cooldown still, because this is independent cooldowns.
Was it the main one that had? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
no, because they changed it, didn't they? Because now the Tempest Double has independent cooldowns.
And he has his own. Troll dies.
Yeah.
Well, we were
it's just a farm and troll. Look, Theory Craft in the Arc Ward. This is Liz's speciality. Like you said, he nerded out on this hero pretty hard.
The clone has his own cooldowns. I just thought that it was the clone that had it off cooldown and not the main one.
Yeah.
That's all.
Now, he had on cooldown still for 10 seconds, but you know. It's easy to get mucked up. You know, they are very close, almost identical twins.
But they just put 3 heroes there to kill him, and they lost 1. And like that positioning from him, like running on the next to the cliff, so that the Dark Willow cannot approach him and dish out the damage with the Bedlam was so good.
I think we saw what looked like sheer miscommunication is you had this fact where Tiny didn't actually commit heavily first because he assumed the Dark Willow was going to go in from the right side.
Yeah, but the Dark Willow couldn't approach because she was blocked. Patting, man. It's patting. He's going to blame it on the patting. I know for sure.
Gaben, the real MVP for TNC here.
Yeah, so far, the troll isn't finding his farm, so he doesn't have that farming item of his, right? Like, usually, the problem is he's going for that Battle Fury, which is going to allow him to farm faster. but he didn't get it yet. He is not even close right now. And Arc Warden already has what he needs. So this troll is gonna be way behind this game. And that's worrisome because now you check the Shaker, he almost has his dagger. The Tiny has his, but
that's going to slow him down even more. That's the thing. I don't see this troll likely to get a Battle Fury before 20 minutes at this rate, because they could just jump him.
Yeah, they get when that Shaker gets the blink, they're definitely gonna be able to jump him. We see a smoke on the bottom lane though.
Oh, they are going in deep.
Necro
they want to stop Tiny. He just picked up his blink as well. They see the Necro first. Avel held in place. The boat's going to come in. The X drawback. He's dead. No escape from that. And Tim's gets ever closer.
He's gone.
But top, Terrorize coming out. That's going to force him away. Ninja Boogie needs to run, but taking a lot of damage to the Bedlam. Going to die. And in return, Gabi is here. Armel showing up, but he doesn't have the boat, of course. The root's going to come out from White Mom, but he is in trouble. The X is there. The Torrent drawback. They might be able to still get him.
Detection.
No detection.
No detection. They thought about porting in with both Pagna and the Arc Warden, the real ones, but they decided to not and just continue pushing bottom. So they get the tower and they also defend, which is nice. They only lose the Wyvern.
Yeah, and also the other thing to be highlighted here is the amount of vision investment coming out from EVOS in this top lane. If they can't get the tower in the next 2 minutes, they have burnt so much of the early mid-game vision.
And the MVP of that whole engagement on top was Wyvern.
Oh, Armel. Trouble coming in, the boat to cover him, but now he might be a little bit done sparse here. Faceguard going to move in, blink forward with the Avalanche. The toss back says iLogic, take over. Where's the bashes? Not going to get them, won't matter though.
Right? I liked how the Treant did not right-click him on purpose so he doesn't steal the kill.
He paused, he was halfway through and they're like, no!
No. Yeah.
Troll needs this gold.
Oh, here we go. He's jumping on the Wyvern as well now.
This is a familiar spot. Ninja Boogie going to go again.
All right, he was MVP the last time. Not
so much this time.
Yeah, not so much this time.
And while that's happening, actually, there's going to be a pick-off under the Willow here, just with the Tempest double.
He does get him. At the same time, because he did that, he's going to have the Midas off cooldown on the clone. Without using it, that is. So that's a small good thing for EVOS, I suppose.
And one thing to highlight as well is actually this troll. We were just saying it looks like it might be about a 20-minute Battle Fury, but he just picked it up. Like
That's nice.
that maneuver in the top lane, the way that played out for them, especially getting the tower, enabled him to get this much quicker than he should have been able to.
Yeah, this is good. And I love that he's going for BKB instantly after because they needed so much on him. Like this Battle Fury alone, the only thing that it does is it allows him to farm a bit faster. And that's it. Like he still cannot fight. If he joins these fights, he can blow up so fast, it's insane. Like they have the Pagna, they have the Kunkka, and the Shaker with Blink, and if they find him now...
And speaking of that Shaker's Blink, they're smoked up moving forward. White Mon, they ping on to him, they'll put down a sentry, the Dust Reveal. There's going to be use of the Fissure to catch up to him. Need to be careful about iLogic. We do have the Echo Slam, the Winter Skirt's going to come out. The boat flying in already, they get across to the Echo Slam, they're going to win it out. 3 heroes, they just stack even harder. No, Avile trying to move away, but slowed down. The Body Block's going to come out, the X back, he's going to fall as well. There's no escape from this. And a beautiful reveal, but they do lose Arc Warden in the mid lane as the rotation from the Dark Willow and the Tiny come out.
Man, that combo hit so hard, my PC turned off. Like that.
That's actually is off.
That was so good. That was so good right there. You know what the worst part is? The Treant was in such good position. Like, he positioned himself so very well to break that smoke. He anticipated it. But they made the mistake of trying to help him. Because Treant, he fell back, and because of that they thought that they're overcommitting.
I mean, that wasn't... I wouldn't even call it help at that point. It's greed. The troll just picked up a Battle Fury, an item for farming, and he's immediately having this thought of, I can go fight them now. This is perfect.
Remember, we talked about troll warlords blowing up with that Battle Fury, didn't we? That's it. Like, you take that Battle Fury, you just die so fast because you don't have the BKB.
It's like you just pick it up, right? Immediately is an explosion. The only thing left is the Battle Fury laying there on the floor.
Yeah.
Just pieces of troll spread across the map. And actually, they might go hunting more. Tim's, he's ready to go on the prowl. Vile is very close here. Tim's perfectly placed for this on either side, actually. Narmel, he does have a Shadow Blade now, so he's on the hunt. The pings come out. There it is. They're crept up. Necrophos in a lot of trouble. The boat's going to come in the torrent as well. He should be donezo here. One more tap will do it. Pugna gets the kill. Now the Overgrowth turnaround. The Cuckoo looks like he might be in trouble. The Decrepify to protect him, and now the TP out from Armel says, no, you're on your own. Cuckoo should be chased down, but there's a haste here if he can survive long enough. The one, the Decrepify, it's going to be close. Can he get it? No, he's going to make it out. The Fissure to cover him, and Cuckoo living life on the edge there.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for EVOS, man. Like, they're just about to have one small break just to get that little...
Imagine how demoralizing that is.
Oh, man. That little skeleton kid. Like, we can get him at least, right? Right, guys, right? No, haste appears.
do you know what the sadder part is?
Top lane.
No
Dark
one
Willow?
knew about that haste until they saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, Fisher coming out. Willow in a lot of trouble. The light train's still going. You're gone.
And that haste brought him there, by the way. With that haste, he was able to get on top and kill that Dark Willow on the other side of the map.
Double value.
This is so bad.
This is looking
actually,
rough.
for EVOS. Like, look at that Warden as well. Travels, Midas. Travels, Midas, Maelstrom.
And this net worth lead is not deceitful at all, right? They have actually got instant value because they've more or less spent their money. They're not waiting on any big items here.
They're actually converging around the pit.
They can do it.
They can do it, but it's not necessary, honestly. They don't have to.
I mean, there's still towers to be taken, you know? Cuckoo, he's got to poke at this mid a little bit.
The thing is, with Arc Warden, if you're going Grosh, you're committing the clone and the Warden there when you could be farming two different sides of the map, you know. So it's kind of redundant. Like, it's not necessary to go take Rosh instantly, at least.
Right now, you know the EVOS are in a position where they have to make a move, right? They've only taken 1 tower so far this game, and they've already lost 6. And that is actually a big, like, in fairness to them, that's a big part of the inflation of net worth here is coming out of towers. The problem is, anytime they're trying to commit on tower, they're in trouble. The pings are coming out, they do see Gabby, but he's farming so deep in his own area of the map. How do you reach him?
Well, they have managed to find a way to actually come close. Ah, no.
This is stupidly deep, though. This could go wrong very
Look at
easily.
what's following him. You see that? Like
Sparkgrave scouting. He already knew someone was up.
Yeah, he pings it out immediately. So basically, he wanted to farm that hard camp, but he used the spark rate, and yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you just get hit in the face by it quickly and then move away, you're not at least not telling people where you're going the entire time.
Yeah, he should have done that.
I think his logic here is if I walk towards that way, they're thinking I'm retreating. Instead, I'm going to go back in. But Sparkgrave is not an expensive investment.
The next level play.
Next level play.
Well, he's going to find him again, it seems.
Yeah, they've got the ward on the high ground, and Tiny's coming across this time. He has to know someone's up
soon. He has
soon,
DD on Tiny, so this is a possible kill for them, but he's going to kill the courier instead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he gets the... Oh, that a lot on it as well. Wow, the completed Veil, as well as wards, smoke. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a good kill, definitely. A courier kill is definitely...
I mean, it's always a good thing, but
it's always
when it's got that much value on it, because that Veil is a big pickup, it does give you a huge spike in this mid-game.
Yo, buff courier kills by making it drop more gold, like on the percentage based on the items that it has. Let's go.
Scaling couriers. I mean, I thought we were gonna go full on roguelike and just say, yeah, you lose your items, they just die.
But make it give no gold if it has nothing. Like early on, make it.
I don't know. Like a courier snipe shouldn't be that easy early on. If it is, it's because you haven't read the situation right.
Yep.
Also, how else am I going to easily stomp my pub games? Because that is the quickest way to get a victory.
That's why I'm saying it, because killing a courier in a pub, it's basically winning your mid. 9 out of 10 times.
Look at this from Tim's. Man wants to go shopping. Oh, moving forward, the Fish is down to 2. The winner's curse coming out. They don't get the kill on Ninja Boogie. They're waiting, the Echo Slam, they chant them into the boat, and they're gone. And that is you diving. It makes the vision obvious now. They're going to get rid of it, but that's you diving to the tier 2 without taking the tier 1 for a pos 5, and you still don't get the kill, courtesy of that cloak pickup.
That's rough. That's so rough. Like, they aren't even able to blow up this Wyvern. That's so rough for them right now. Like, they must feel so useless, to be honest. Oh, feels bad, man.
I mean, that's your Tiny as well. That's your mid-game powers. That's the man that's going to deliver your Troll to the late game.
Exactly. Well, Troll is finding some farm. He has that BKB. So, yeah, even though Arc Warden is becoming like this powerhouse, he has this Orchid. If the Troll manages to get to him...
They're not even going to get the tier... I'm not even sure if they get this tier 1 bot. They might just come in. Gabby? Oh, I know, he didn't actually go in time. He's trying to slow him down because look at this, smoked up TNC moving across just after they finish the Roche. They're going to actually find them as they retreat as well. Yep. The pings come out for the Willer. Avile might be safe, but Dark Willer maybe not so much. The Curse Crown's there, the Fissure, the Enchant Term Control. He can't move away from the Torrent, and with that, Vlaiku will go down. He gets left behind, hung and dry by his own teammates.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why Shaker came back into the meta was the Dark Willow, and then people realized how strong he actually is as well with that Aghanims build. But people were trying to find reasons, heroes that are good versus Willow.
Speaking of Shaker, forces the BKB logic. They do have the Winner's Curse. No, use it. No! Tims!
Tims made a mistake there, yeah.
Yeah, I think you kind of panic. You're like, I'm a melee hero, and I don't want to be in melee range against a troll, but...
he was porting out, so all he had to do is stay there and give info. But instead, he basically did not think that Winter Wyvern was close enough. So he kind of moved back. Still, that's a second off on the...
I mean, that's a 10-second BKB, and there's not really many more defensive... Like, you can't get much more defensive than that.
Well, you can. He's actually building Lincolns, too.
No, in terms of the use. But yeah, in terms of iron build.
But the Blink, though, I really dig it. I like the Blink build. Either Blink or Shadow Blade, because they need to get on top of this Warden.
That's the case for a lot of carries right now. Is that, like, there's a lot of heroes in the meta that are very good at kiting, so you just need to close that gap. Terrorblade's my favorite for it at the moment. You just blink in the middle of the fight. You get double value for the reflection, but
the problem is, though, there's Aegis on this Arc Warden, and he's already hit that critical mass in which he only needs to send a clone to farm. He can be always, he can do this exactly what he's doing. He just sends the clone on the lane and he goes back. So
yeah, so he's going to be pushing out, and the benefit of that, of course, is you don't really need to commit multiple heroes to split locations like the side of EVOS do. You can just have him doing that and more or less just pushing 2 lanes and then have 4 people go ganking together.
So this is my issue with the Arc Warden, though. You have given him this Aegis, and the only thing that he's gonna do with it, or the only thing that he's been doing with it so far, is farming. And the hero itself, imagine if TNC won the lanes the same way with some other carry mid.
Willow in trouble here, uses the Realm, but it won't matter. Shadow Realm cannot protect you, like you were full.
Yeah, Shadow Realm versus Pagna versus Shaker versus Kunkka. It's a rough Dark Willow game. All right, they heard
what you said. They hear you, Liz. Coach Liz with the insights. They say, okay, on to the high ground. Well, the Flux will slow down and scale for Vile. He needs to be careful, actually. Sunstar, he's taking a lot of damage here. He might fall the Fidget. He's gone.
He's gone. No.
Yep, they get him. It's enough. He can't heal up with the 1. Cheeky attempt is flawless.
Yeah, that Orchid was definitely a valuable pickup for them. Oh, well, Treant is hitting the tower a bit.
Yeah, Treant's doing a little bit of split push, but he needs to be back here with the Overgrowth. He's TPing him right now, but it's a long TP. A lot of damage done to your tower. And look at the Spark Rays. They have to go all the way outside the base just to look for a backstab with the Shadow Blade.
It's so hard, though. And he's X'd as well.
Oh, X. Oh, no, Logic. The boat coming in. He tries to blink away. He takes it to the face. Down to half HP already, the Fissure as well. He needs to actually regen up. He can't stand here right now.
It's rough. It's very hard for them to defend this lane.
This slow siege is actually brutal. This is the power of the Arc Warden, like you said, reaching critical mass. The Sun's coming out into the Willow as well, just looking for the right clicks. Where's the Maelstrom Proc's not getting them. But you do distract him. You distract the Troll with the Tempest double, and as a result, you get even more damage on the racks. They'll back away, but you don't have to wait long. This is the thing about Arc Warden. The Tempest double is a lower cooldown.
So you have that Tempest double, and also you have the Nether Blast, just constantly taking down these Raxes. You have the tree to counter it a bit, but it's not enough. They are wrapping around, but...
They have to. They have to make a move right now. Smoked up. Facehugger does get revealed. Tims blinks away. He's like, hell no. The Fissure block off. Now they might turn around. Armel moving forward. Has the boat availed once more. The BKB coming out. Troll trying to move in. Logic. What can he do here? The Winner's Curse is there. The boat coming in on the side as well. The Terrorize out just in time. They get hit by the boat. No, and they don't hit anyone with the Terrorize. There's UC Overgrowth, but there's no one backing this up. The side from the base. Looks like they're going to get rid of the King. The Echo coming out. Tims controlling again. Avile down to half HP. Blazu needs to move away quicker. The Magnet Field to protect Tims. He'll stay alive. The Cold Embrace going to keep him up. Facehugger might not be so lucky chasing on him, but he will get away. And now the reset will come in, but Vlaisu's still on the side. He has no terror. He's got a Bedlam. He's down to half HP. He needs way in, but they're going to lose the entire set of racks there.
They have to buy back the Troll for mid if they opt to go mid. They don't have Kunkka. They don't have the Kunkka. They don't have the Echo. Shaker is low, but they can.
But they got poke power. Yeah. There you go. Magnetic Field on the high ground. They're not done just yet. They want more.
But the problem is if you want to buy him back, but if you buy him back, he has no BKB, and they're in a rough spot. It's hard to make this decision.
And they have no Overgrowth either. 45 seconds. Sun's coming out in the Vlaisu. Moving forward. Let's jump in. Tiny, the avalanche on the free. The toss back. He might have enough. Tim's good control. Gabby, his illusion. Tempest double just trying to do enough. The buyback did come out from the Troll, but he still doesn't have the BKB. The Battle Trance is going to be used. Whitemon will finish off a kill, but he dies in return. And now they'll chase on the Whitemon as well. The Troll dead after the dieback. This might just be conclusive. They have no way of stopping Gabby from just going back into the base. Oh. Tiny with the TP and needs to protect Visus. His only hope, he needs to keep that Willow alive. It's a long TP. There it is, though. The root walks straight into it. Pugna taking a lot of damage. The Cold Embrace protects him again. Whitemon needs to move away from this fast. Going to move across. There's going to be a use to the Flux. He will tick out from this as well. Gabby moving in. The buyback coming up. The Earthshaker, the ready party. The Terrorize off cooldown once more. It's going to scare away the Pugna. But Facehugger, this is a defensive Shadow Blade. He has no target right now, and they see him perfectly. The Life Drain's going to come out, trying to slow him down. The Spark Raves just chasing on through. He's still under Sentry. This is problematic. And the Shadow Blade is about to run out. He needs to blink to safety right this moment.
Yeah, they kind of understood where he's going, and Shaker is following.
He's still going. He said, Dust, let's do this. There's a party time. He doesn't have Echo for 30 seconds, but he's still going to chase. The supports are keeping Tiny out of base just so that the rest of his team can just go back in. TNC, they are not done with this base just yet.
And they forced them to use all their buybacks almost, and these Raxes are still falling.
Tiny has no TP.
Yeah, he has to run back if he wants to be back.
They caroused him so far away from his base, he's going to lose the whole thing by the time he arrives.
And look at this. They're even using Xmart to just bring back Pugna to go for his items and come back after. Heals up, takes all the items, refreshes the bottle.
All right, they're back on the high ground. Final lane. EVOS maybe got... They'll probably be left with one Rax when they've got everyone up and everyone ready. Tiny's almost across now, but they have got wards down. They should see him coming. No, there's Sentry the whole area. This might be his best opportunity. There's a Courier coming in as well. It has a gem on it. On the side, Whitemon Wayne does have the Overgrowth available. This will be the perfect moment, but his team isn't ready. Still got to wait 10 seconds for Willow.
They have to take a fight here.
They can't lose the final Rax. There it is, going to move in now on the back foot. Look, Troll going inside start though. Ninja Mook is still alive. The Winner's Curse is coming in. The boat's going to be there as well to control them up. And Armo, he's ready to reset this. The Splinter Blast coming through. Facehugger just has to toss him away, but it's too late. He's dead. Whitemon with the Overgrowth doesn't connect on everyone. Armo moving for the BKB. He's going to extra back, and it looks like Trin's going to go down. The buyback from Tiny's not going to achieve enough here. The Lucha Echo, it comes in. The Terrorize, it gets interrupted again. Tim's, oh God here. He's going to get rid of the Willow now. Just tagging this up. It's too late. Facehugger will get one kill, but the GG comes out. Game 1, TNC take it. And the power of this Earthshaker conclusive through and throughout this game.
That Shaker, man. Tim's such a player, honestly. But overall, the laning stage was not really what you want to have when you're playing versus Arc. Well, overall, not really what you want to have. You don't want to be losing all 3 lanes ever. Yeah, the Necro kind of did well, but as soon as Pugna is level 6, he counters him so hard with that life drain. It just destroys him. And the fact that you're putting your weakest lane versus the lane that needs to be pressured the hardest. So you're putting that Troll versus the Arc Warden lane. And the Troll loses that lane. I mean, he was fine with farm, but then he just started dying. Because we said, as Arc Warden gets levels, he dishes out a lot, like all these nukes, the Flux, the Spark Rates, the Splinter Blasts. Troll can't sustain that.
And the crazy part is, like, you kind of think, you got to think in the mind of EVOS, what were they thinking here? And the logic was probably, okay, the Pugna's going to follow Necrophos wherever he goes. So you're kind of like, you've relegated yourself to the sacrifice, but it's the wrong mindset, right? That this had to be what they were thinking. It's like, Troll's going to get decent farm. But like we said, what does the Troll do? Builds a Battle Fury. He's not ready to fight. Even when, like, you can make the argument, yes, the Arc Warden went for a Midas, but he's going to get so much gold value. He's going to be online a good 10 minutes beforehand. And Tiny just wasn't getting the pickoffs.
This is how I also see it. The Battle Fury, all right, you need it. Because the problem with not going for Battle Fury is that you fall off. It doesn't matter. Like, you cannot crush that Arc Warden hard enough in the mid game so that you don't fall off afterwards, you know? Even if you get the blink first and you get 3 kills on Arc Warden, he's still going to use that Midas to come back. So it doesn't really matter. But the thing is, if you get the Battle Fury, you can get the BKB in 2 minutes. Like 2-3 minutes, bam, bam, bam. You walk through the woods twice in a row and you clean up the waves. You get that BKB, you're ready to fight. The problem is, he fought. Like, he took that Battle Fury and he instantly fought afterwards. And that's very bad decision making.
And it was doubly damning as well because his team was going, ganking, looking for Arc Warden. And that has to be, that cannot be highlighted enough here, actually. Is I'd love to see the heat maps from this because the movements, the mobility coming out from the Arc Warden, it was perfectly played by Gabby.
He played it really well. He was always in those safe positions, and he got caught once with the Treant, Tiny, and the Dark Willow. Yeah. And even there, he took the Treant with him. Right? Like, so he died, but he's basically fighting 3 people and he's taking one of them down with him. So that's still pretty good because it creates so much space for that Kanka and whoever else to just roam across the map and
This is kind of the beauty of some of these heroes, right? Like there's certain heroes that use choke points much better.
Yeah.
And people didn't really start to appreciate this until Pangolier was released. And then people
definitely.
started to realize, actually, Pangolier is not the only hero that plays like this. If you start drafting these lineups, like the Earthshaker, the Kunkka, even the Winter Wyvern, if you force your opponents into a choke point, you have an inherent advantage.
Arc Warden is one of the better heroes in choke spots as well because of the magnetic field.
Yeah.
So basically, what you do is you walk as close to the cliff as possible, and then you just cover yourself with the magnetic field, and that's it. That's what happened there. And he survived.
I mean, he panicked. Like, he arguably panicked because he double magneted it straight away, but it didn't matter. Right? Well, guys, that is not it here. Remember, these are best of 3. So while TNC Predator may be looking hot, 1 game up, Team EVOS are far from out of this. They are in the upper bracket. There's plenty of games to come. We're going to go to a break for a few minutes. We shouldn't be too long before we're back with Game 2 between TNC Predators versus Team EVOS for a chance to get the grand finals. And then hopefully after that, well, hopefully, one of these teams.
One of them is
one of the teams involved in these qualifiers will make it to ESL Hamburg. Stay tuned, guys.
ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and PaySafeCard.